Why price gouging is good. Price gouging occurs when there is a sudden surge of demand, like after a natural disaster or some other type of crisis. Price gouging is when companies raise their prices to what some would consider unfair or unreasonable levels. There is no hard and fast rule for what constitutes price gouging in general. State laws use imprecise terms like unconscionable, exorbitant, or unreasonably excessive. In the United States, more than 30 state governments have laws prohibiting price gouging during a declared state of emergency or other market disruption. Price is the result of the interaction between supply and demand. The price and quantity of goods are a function of supply and demand. After a crisis occurs, there is a surge of demand for goods. Without a corresponding increase in price, goods are quickly sold out and people are left with empty shelves and unable to feed their babies formula, no bottled water to drink, and nothing to cook for their kids. The purpose of price is to allocate resources efficiently by indicating scarcity. When price is not allowed to rise, you get first-come, first-served situations where people line up for hours to get in the door when a business opens, only to find the shelves are empty. Price gouging results in a mutually beneficial transaction whereby the customer gets a legitimate opportunity to purchase a good. The morality of price gouging is a matter of debate, not the purpose of this video. It is up to the individuals and societies to determine whether price gouging is acceptable. Price represents what is fair in terms of supply and demand. When prices are too high, people do not buy the item and it sits unpurchased on the shelf. When prices are too low, customers purchase the item and the shelf is now empty. During a crisis, when prices are not allowed to rise, the products are sold quickly and lead to a shortage. Natural rationing. Price gouging allows for market efficiency by allocating scarce resources to those who value them the most. Price gouging can encourage individuals to conserve resources to purchase only what they truly need. It ensures that goods and services go to those who are willing to pay the highest price. It encourages people to think how badly they actually need the product on the shelf, given the price is higher than normal. Without a price increase, a customer will hoard essential supplies like a case of water or boxed pasta. Suppliers are incentivized to sell needed goods. Price gouging incentivizes sellers to increase production as they can make more profit during high demand times. Ultimately, increased production leads to more supply and lower price in the long term. Price gouging encourages suppliers to relocate goods to areas experiencing scarcity to take advantage of the higher prices and potential profit. A study done on price gouging as it relates to Hurricane Katrina and Rita found that price gouging laws would have created an additional $2 billion more in economic losses due to interference with incentives to allocate scarce resources to where they are needed most. Most economists would argue that taking advantage of a burst in demand is a reasonable reaction in a market-based economy. Consider this example. We have 2 cases of water that sell for $5 each. In the event of a hurricane, a company does not have incentive to bring in more cases of water if it can sell those cases in other markets given a price cap of $5 a case and a selling price of $5 a case. Now assume we have 2 buyers, each with $10. One buyer could purchase both cases of water and the other buyer would have nothing. If the price was $10 a case, both buyers would get a case of water. Also, the supplier would have an incentive to double their revenue versus other markets, given they could sell a case of water for $10 instead of $5. Furthermore, other sellers would move into the marketplace to take advantage of the ability to sell water at $10 a case. Ultimately, this would drive the market price of a case of water back down to $5 a case. People commonly argue against price gouging because it can lead to significant economic harm and inequality for vulnerable populations during a crisis. A $20 case of water may deter hoarding, but it also will not be affordable to the most vulnerable parts of society. Another argument is that it is immoral and unethical to charge exorbitant prices during times of crisis or desperation. Most societies view companies that price gouge as taking advantage of vulnerable people in a crisis. Governments will instruct citizens not to hoard, but populations rarely follow these instructions, and it only takes a few hoarders to deplete the stock of an essential item. Even when there are not laws preventing price gouging. There's such a social stigma regarding it that stores will refuse to raise prices, and as a result, the store is quickly sold out of essential supplies, leaving people without bottled water or food. The invisible hand of the market is the only way to efficiently reflect supply and demand in a localized area. There is no way to properly replace the allocative nature of prices.